It's Press Pass with Jack Ebling, Mid-Michigan's spirited sports debate. Now let's get talking sports. Here's Jack.
Great evening, Mid-Michigan and beyond, and welcome to Press Pass here on Fox 47. It's time to meet Team 324. Tom Crawford, a longtime broadcast partner, Bluebelly Tom, covering close to 18 years now. He is also a regular contributor to the Wolverine.com, and he is the creator of the Crawford Podcasting Network. Tom, everything good? Michigan a 1-1 week in basketball, but it's bowl announcement time, and you got an easy opponent.
I was hoping that, you know how I want bowl wins, I was hoping that it'd be Michigan versus Concordia College in the Washtenaw County Bowl, because I want a bowl win. I'm a little bit, skittish about Michigan playing Bama. I'll admit that right up front in the Citrus Bowl.
Really?
Yeah.
But you were so bullish on them beating the Buckeyes.
Yeah, but I don't know. That exposed. I mean, that just showed. This is like Alabama is like Ohio State, maybe 2.0 or whatever.
The interruption you heard is Rico Pierce.
Yes.
And, he is a longtime Detroit radio and TV personality. He is a Specs Howard broadcast instructor, recruiting insider, and he is host of the Spartan Beat. Weekdays from noon to 1. Got Michigan going to Orlando, Michigan State off to New York.
Yeah, because the team got to go, Penn State goes to the Cotton Bowl, which boosted everybody up, which is good because Eastern Michigan actually got to go to a game. They were about to be left out, so I'm happy for them. You know what? You deserve to play outside in the cold. You do.
Wet snow.
Here's the thing. It still comes down to this. Stop 2 4th and longs. 4th and 16, 4th and 17, 8 and 4, you're off to Florida. You didn't. Good luck in New York.
Yeah, sometimes you deserve what you get, right?
Yeah.
But New York, hey, Michigan State, a lot of people went to New York with basketball earlier this year. Lorenzo White going into the College Football Hall of Fame.
It's warm inside New York.
You're trying to frame that like they're going to show up, Jack.
It's warm inside the Garden, right?
There won't be as many people in Yankee Stadium from Michigan, trust me. Also want to welcome Doug Warren. He is our Detroit Lions insider and historian. He is also the sports director of the Spotlight Radio Network, and he has been producer since day one of The Drive with Jack, and a big fan of boneless wings.
Yeah, not really. They're glorified chicken nuggets. That's a whole nother show, another discussion. The Lions lost today. That's a good thing. Keep losing. They have the 5th pick right now in the draft. That's good. Maybe if they lose out, some people get fired. That's what I'm looking forward to now. Nothing else. There's no other reason to even pay attention to the Lions until these idiots are gone. Dumb and Dumber, Matt, Patricia, Bob Quinn.
If Matthew Stafford and Kerryon Johnson cannot find their helmets, Doug Warren has them. We'll be right back talking football.
When it's too cold for camping, we go camping. When it's too hot to work, we work. Too wet to keep going? Nah. This is the Gator XUV 835 with game-changing heat and air and 3 wide seating. It's never too anything for anything. Nothing runs like a deer.
See the new 835R and complete Gator lineup now at D&G Equipment in Mason, Williamston, Corunna, Howell, Highland, Charlotte, and Rives Junction.
Coming to the Potter Center at Jackson College is Christian recording artist Newsboys, Saturday, January 18th. Join us for a night of rocking energy and inspiring music. Newsboys with special guest Adam Agee, Saturday, January 18th. Get your tickets at the Potter Center box office or at jccmi.edu/Potter Center.
Welcome to Lynn and Owen Jewelers, celebrating Christmas for 102 years in downtown Lansing. Contemporary style with old world craftsmanship from a centennial business provides you with the finest products. Remember, you can't spell love without L&O. Merry Christmas from Lynn and Owen.
Catch the electrifying Lamar Jackson next week on Thursday Night Football.
What's really important to me is being able to have a partner, and Dart Bank has been that for me. I'm Eric Nelson. I'm a managing partner here at the English Inn. I've worked with John Morris at Dart Bank to help put together multiple projects that have assisted us with growing our business and continuing to be successful.
Team spirit, face paint, more cowbell. Dean Trailways Motor Coach takes care of your travel, so you can support your favorite Spartan teams and focus on the important things. Dean Trailways, your favorite ride.
First, what's your reaction to them naming you guys number one?
You know, we're happy to be in the playoffs, and anywhere, anytime, anybody, we're ready to go.
I know it just happened, so you haven't studied Oklahoma a lot yet, but just a general view of what they do and what they do well.
Obviously dynamic, great. We played against Jalen Hurts before, great football player, great on offense. Their defense has improved. Lincoln Riley has done a great job. They have great athletes. They prepare well. It's going to be a hell of a challenge.
Do I feel like we should have been the 1 seed? Yeah, but LSU's had an unbelievable season, so I think, what Joe's done and what that team has done, they've done a great job. What Clemson's done, I can see that argument as well. I mean, they're defending national champs and they haven't lost a game since and played, great football. So at the end of the day, you got to beat the best to go win the national championship, and certainly Clemson is that. And so what matters at the end of the year is, who's won, not right now. And so we've got a big challenge ahead of us as we start to prepare for Clemson.
That's LSU head coach Ed Orgeron and Ohio State first-year leader Ryan Day. Rico Beard, it's number 1 LSU, number 4 Oklahoma, number 2 Ohio State, a 2.5-point underdog to number 3 Clemson. Did the committee get it right?
No, I don't think so. And I know it's the unpopular opinion, but I do think Ohio State was one. They came back and they won their game. They played the number 8 team in Wisconsin. And yeah, LSU had a lot of impressive victories, but I still can't take away from the fact that they did play one FCS team or whatever, like a Division II team, the old Division II.
Yeah.
You don't get rewarded for that. I'm sorry. I don't think that they did enough to bump Ohio State down. But saying that, for Ohio State, you got to exercise that demon. You are 0-3 against Clemson. You want to win the title. You got to win your games that are ahead of you. So if you're Ohio State, we'll see what happens. But
it'd be nice if they could score against Clemson. That's the first.
Yeah, 31-0 last time.
I think they'll score against this Clemson team. This Clemson team
hasn't beaten anybody.
So what would have happened, gentlemen? Let's say Utah beats Oregon. Maybe Georgia had given LSU a better game. And what if Wisconsin had played in the second half the way it did in the first half and taken Ohio State down to the wire? Rico, how would it have been different?
Well, I'll tell you one thing. Oklahoma was sweating bullets because if Wisconsin came out in that second half and wins, it's hard to say that they're not going to be in. But I think under your scenario, Utah would have made it in. They would have made it in.
This made it so
Oklahoma
easy for the
out.
committee. This is a walk in the park.
I mean, it was
Oklahoma had its hands full with Baylor. Had to go to overtime.
That's
to
a good
win
team.
that
That's
game,
Baylor.
No one's talking about that. They're just like, oh, Oklahoma's in. Like they struggled.
They beat him twice. That's tough.
They got in because there was no one else. They literally were the last man standing.
Doug, who advances to the championship game? And on a 1 to 10 scale, with 10 being Stephen F. Austin over Duke, how stunned would you be if the Sooners beat the LSU Tigers and then the Clemson Tigers to win the championship?
It would be as stunning as Villanova winning in 1985 in the NCAA tournament. I'd give it like a 9. I don't think it's going to happen. I think Oklahoma's a really good team, especially offensively. Jalen Hurts, the first quarterback in history to lead his team to playoff 4 straight years, do it with 2 different teams. I think he's going to be a tremendous NFL quarterback. But the 2 teams that'll advance, LSU, Ohio State, and I think LSU is going to win the national championship.
Yeah. Tom, we got an Ohio State vote. We got an LSU vote.
As far as win the whole thing?
Win the whole thing.
LSU, no question in my mind.
Rico, you're getting no love here. You can make some bets here.
I didn't take.
Doug is objective. He's not objective. You know he's not going to.
And look, I'm not taking anything away from Clemson. They could win the whole thing. They're the defending champs, and I know
that's irrelevant.
That's
irrelevant.
No, what it was,
they're still
here's the
defending
thing.
their title, and that's a damn good football team, and they play in a crap
Here's why you didn't want to be
still.
2, because
Hideous
that's
conference.
just it. You have to play Clemson, then you have to play probably the number 1 seed. Whereas if you're 1, you get an Oklahoma team that's good, but I don't think they're winning that game.
And those teams are going to go west, Ohio State and Clemson, which seems a little, but LSU gets first pick. Tom, Heisman Trophy coming up next Saturday, and Doug and Rico are voters. They can't discuss their ballots right now, but you could. So
I got Shea Pat.
Oh, shh. What do you think? The top 3. What would the Crawford Heisman 1, 2, 3 be?
And I'm not into individual awards, but Joe Burrow. There's one guy that needs to go to New York City. Just one guy. That's all. He's by himself.
Jalen Hurts?
He's a nice story. 4 CFPs he's been at. He would be number 2. J.K. Dobbins, number 3. Chase Young, you stay home. I saw you play in Ann Arbor. You got no hurries. You didn't get any sacks. You were irrelevant in that game.
What about Justin Fields? He did all right against the Wolverines.
He can do that next year.
Pretty good.
He'll get it. It's his next year. No question.
All right, we're going to come back and talk about the Big Ten championship game. I was there with Doug and Lindsey Huddleston. We'll talk about the Big Ten matchups and much more coming up on Press Pass.
It's the Graff Christmas clearance, and the savings couldn't be better. And we want to put a new Chevrolet in everyone's driveway. And we'll give you a minimum of $3,000 for your trade. Let's give them a shiny new one, Santa Chris. Okay, look out below.
Drive a 2020 Equinox for just $159 a month, or a 2020 Silverado Custom Crew Cab for only $250 a month.
There's never been a better time to save than during the Graff Christmas clearance. Going on now at a Graff dealership near you. Merry Christmas.
Woody's Oasis, your healthy alternative to fast food. Woody's has the best Mediterranean food in town. Stop and see Chuck and Delita. They'll make you feel like family. Their friendly, knowledgeable staff is always willing to help.
Hi, how are you doing today? Do you want to do the homemade bread with it, or did you want to do the thin bread as a side?
They'll be sure to put a smile on your face. And as lifelong supporters of MSU athletics, you never know who might stop by. Eat Woody's and live longer.
Coulda, shoulda, Woody's.
Woody's Oasis on Trowbridge Road, right next to campus.
The student bookstores are Green and White Shop headquarters. Outfit your entire family with Spartan gear. We have a large selection of men's, women's, and children's clothing. Show off your Michigan State pride with new shoes, socks, hats, and more. Have your tailgate ready with MSU party supplies, car accessories, and dress your pet in green and white. We have gifts for students, grads, alumni, and fans. From Vera Bradley and Dooney and Burke to diploma frames and more. Always shop SBS for the biggest and best selection of green and white. Go green, go white, go SBS.
Download the Fox 47 News app and stay connected everywhere you go.
Get a remote car starter on sale for $99. What a great deal! But is it? Does that include installation? No way. Does that include an integrated module? Not a chance. Does that include other parts and safety features for locks, hoods, or doors? No, no, and no. For the real deal on remote car starters, go to Design Rides. They have a full range of CompuStar car starters, and each system is custom engineered to fit your vehicle. Design Rides is back. DesignRides.net.
You don't just become great. You gotta work at it. Hone your craft. Put in the time. See what works and what doesn't. That's how you get better. Better like Jets, Detroit-style pizza. Hand-pressed and baked to the thickest, crispiest crunch that can't be matched. Now, get a large specialty pizza of your choice for just $13.99. We dare ya. Jets. Better because it has to be.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. Time for the big picture, brought to you by Dean Trailways. With trips for every season, Dean takes care of the details so you can enjoy the experience, including daily casino runs and great getaways in northern Michigan and Chicago, where Doug Warren and I were for the NFL Legends Classic. That's Dean Trailways, your favorite ride.
We talk about toughness all year, and toughness is playing on the field, but toughness is being down 2 scores with not much going right for you at halftime of the Big Ten championship game. And I told the team we're going to find out how real tough we are. We played good this year, but we've been in some lopsided games. And when you get into a situation like that, you really find out what's inside of you, what's inside your heart. And I told them we're going to go down for the first drive. We're going to go down and score, and we did. And then all of a sudden, we just kind of steamrolled from there, and we just kind of played really good in the second half.
More Ryan Day after his first Big Ten championship. Doug Warren, you were there at the winners' post-game press conference. What was your take on the Buckeyes' responses in a 27-0 second half, and to your questions?
Yeah, well, I think Ryan Day clearly has a pulse of this team. Look, last year when he was elevated to head coach, when Urban Meyer stepped down, I thought he would be, and I said so, more like Lincoln Riley than Luke Fickell in the year of transition between Tressel and Urban Meyer, but he's exceeded what I thought he'd be able to do. He's a tremendous coach. And again, in the second half, the athletes for Ohio State, that's what separated themselves. KJ Hill, Justin Fields coming in and doing what he did in year one. The defense stepped up. They corrected the mistakes, stopped missing tackles, and they just kind of seized control of the game as you expected them to do in the first half.
And you had to feel good for Greg Madison and Al Washington,
except for Tom.
With the move they made, and
that was
you
another
asked that question.
That was another big move. I asked Ryan Day about Greg Madison, what his influence was on the team, and he said, "Look, it's been a great influence. He's won national championships. He came in and helped solidify everything, and he thought he was a great addition to the staff." So,
Tom Crawford, we haven't had a turnaround quite like this in Indianapolis since Ohio State scored 24 unanswered points in 2013, and then Michigan State rallied with the final 17 points of the game. What did you learn about the Buckeyes and about the Badgers?
Well, I learned a lot. It's just I got reinforced in the Buckeyes that they can have one single play can flip the game. The fake punt flipped that game. And then the tight end spears one out of nowhere, and all of a sudden that team just ignites. I remember 2 years ago, Michigan was ahead of them 14-0 in Ann Arbor. Yeah. And then Cardell Jones got hurt, and Haskins comes in there, or JT Bear, whoever it was. Haskins comes in there and throws this rock in a barrel, incredible throw, and the game flips. That's how Ohio State is. One play, and they're off to the races. After that tight end catch, I knew it was over with.
Rico, let's take a look at the Big Ten's bowl matchups and another glimpse at the Big Ten standings. Which conference teams will be victorious in postseason play?
I think Penn State, I can definitely say. I think that they'll go out there and beat Memphis. I do.
Keep going.
Other than that,
you got Michigan over Bama, right?
Iowa, big, right?
Iowa, USC. You
got 2.
Indiana.
You got
Tennessee.
Ohio State because you have them.
Ohio State, 3. Clemson. Yeah.
But
I think Indiana takes out Tennessee.
4.
And
Michigan and Bama.
You've been saying it before the show that they were going to roll Bama.
They're going to roll the tide.
You can't roll. You can't beat them. I mean,
I'm going in confidence order.
Oh,
is what I'm going.
You're working your way up to that.
Roll's a pretty good, strong.
So I got Michigan. You guys will. Your sleepover kicker will kick the winning field goal.
Doug, you started to shake your head as soon as he talked about Penn State and Memphis.
Ohio State, Wisconsin, Memphis, Indiana. Auburn's going to crush Minnesota. Alabama's going to do the same to Michigan. Illinois will win. USC will win. And Michigan State's going to get stomped by Wake Forest. Unless it's an ice rink, then that could change things in the Yankee Stadium.
Tom, what do you think? How many Big Ten winners there?
I'll go easier. I'll go with the losers. Minnesota's there'll be a running clock in that game. I know that they're gonna lose. And I think Michigan State's gonna lose this close one to Wake Forest.
Yeah?
Brian Piccolo, you there.
You got Michigan over Bama? Not.
Oh yeah, that's another L. Yeah, there's 3. Our two teams.
We will be back, and we're going to break down Michigan and Michigan State in the Capital One and the Pinstripe Bowl up next.
Celebrating 20 years in downtown Lansing, visit Sultan's Express for fresh, healthy, authentic Middle Eastern cuisine. You'll get fast service in a warm, welcoming, friendly, and inviting environment. Call in your order for pickup or cater your next office meeting or party with Sultan's Express.
in the savings zone at Capital Honda with game-winning offers on the new 2019 Honda Civic LX, $189 a month, or new 2019 Honda CR-V EX all-wheel drive, $269 a month. You should be driving a Honda from Capital Honda.
Give a gift of the good life from Dusty's Cellar. Redeem Dusty's gift cards for retail purchases in the cellar, for casual fine dining in the wine bar, or for the local pub atmosphere of the tap room. Dusty's gift cards, available online at dustyscellar.com.
The new Fox Sports app, now with live streaming. Download it from the App Store today.
What's really important to me is being able to have a partner, and Dart Bank has been that for me. I'm Eric Nelson. I'm a managing partner here at the English Inn. I've worked with John Morris at Dart Bank to help put together multiple projects that have assisted us with growing our business and continuing to be successful.
Team spirit, face paint, more cowbell. Dean Trailway's motor coach takes care of your travel, so you can support your favorite Spartan teams and focus on the important things. Dean Trailways, your favorite ride.
Anyone who's had our chicken knows it's plump and juicy. What they may not know is that it's also 100% natural.
All our chickens are certified, humanely raised, no antibiotics, on a high-quality diet of soy and grain.
Why are they called tenders?
They're called tenders because they come from the tenderloin of the breast, hand-trimmed just for colors. It's not a strip or a finger, it is the true tenderloin.
I'll put our chicken tenders up against anybody's.
That's like my Granny Franklin used to make. That's outstanding, Craig.
Welcome to Delicious.
Patterson, and they'll reverse it. Near side, Sanders still hits the corner, down the sideline, dives! Bell the motion man. Patterson over the middle, caught, Patterson, touchdown!
Rosenberg's punt goes back to the 23. Wow! I don't know how Waddle got away from that whiplash, and now he's coming the other way. Jalen Waddle across midfield. He's got a convoy. Waddle, he's gone. Touchdown.
Pressure's not in the sack, but they had pressure. Tua deep on the sideline. Devontae Smith, who catches everything. Touchdown, Alabama.
Devontae Smith in motion. Tagovailoa going to go to the corner in the end zone. It's Najee Harris. Touchdown.
Alabama make them all.
Tagovailoa pumps once, goes to the corner.
Got it this time. Touchdown, Alabama. A second.
Meanwhile, Tua Tagovailoa going deep on his first throw to Smith.
Devontae Smith, he's gone. Touchdown, Alabama.
Crimson Tide, clearly a much different team with Tua Tagovailoa. Tom Crawford, I should also mention that that was not Mike Sainristil scoring that touchdown on the reverse, right?
Giles Jackson.
Giles Jackson.
Yes.
But, hey, you know what? Gus Johnson, last year in the Big Ten championship game, he had the wrong team playing in the game. It's called a lack of preparation.
Absolutely.
Tom, if I had told you in August that Jim Harbaugh's going to get a shot at Nick Saban in the postseason, you would have said in the national semifinal or in the championship. Your prediction.
Yes, it came through, but no, this thing today, it's hard to stomach. You know how my feelings about bowl games. I mean, because you lose to the rival, and then you want to get that sour taste off. You want to have something to build into the off season, spring ball, and then catapult into next year. And boy, bowl losses. Michigan won a bowl game in the 2011 season when Brady was there, his first year, Brady Hoke, and then Jim Harbaugh's first year. But everything else is losses. And then you so kindly always remind me, about the two-game losing schedule, because I always lose Ohio State going into the offseason. And then they're opening with Washington and Seattle next year, potential loss there. This is disappointing to me because I think it's going to be a daunting task, and it's all about the matchups. I know attitude's going to be an issue, and we're going to be dissecting this for the next 3 weeks, but it's Alabama's receivers against Michigan's secondary. I can just see Josh Metellus. Here he goes, 5 yards. No knock against that young man, but it's just a mismatch made, for a route, to be honest with you.
Rico, we have seen 2 Michigan State teams that were Big Ten champions play Alabama and Florida and get outscored by a combined 87-7.
Yeah. You know what? That slope gets slippery very fast. It's kind of like Ohio State. When Ohio State sees you wobbling, they go for the kill. That's with Alabama, except for Alabama has the mystique. When you see those players, man, you're thinking to yourself you have to play perfect, and that's the wrong thing because you've never played a perfect game. So as soon as you mess up, they know they have you. Yeah, once that snowball gets going, now for Michigan, I think it's the opposite. I think the fact that the players that Bama has on defense, you're going to be seeing guys a lot faster. Yeah. They got a bunch of Chase Youngs out there. They got a bunch of people out there. They got speed at every position.
Their defense is their weakness, not.
No, but I'm saying that their defense, put them in the Big Ten, and that's the number 1 defense.
What about the idea that this is really a great opportunity?
Oh, absolutely.
For Michigan.
An incredible opportunity.
Because if they get beat, okay, let's say they lose by 3 touchdowns, everyone's going to say, well, what do you expect? It was Alabama. And if they win, now...
It's if they win, it's one of those things that you could put it on your media guide. You beat
But
Alabama.
if you lose, Harbaugh's going to get lit up again by the media and the Rico Beards of the world. So, I mean, if you lose to them, you're still
lighting them up.
You
I
always
don't care.
Oh, yeah, you do. You're obsessed with them.
Doug, we might be seeing the 2 deepest receiving core.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Michigan's got 5 guys who are really good, and we know Alabama does. They got 3 who could be first-round picks. Mm-hmm. When you look at this, tough day to be a defensive back.
Yeah, and I think Matt Jones is going to have another month to prepare as well. I think he's been okay. He's not Tua, but he's been pretty good. Yeah. I see the speed of Alabama offensively, and the question marks I still have on Michigan's defense. When they play elite teams right now, they don't have it, and they don't have the athletes they did the previous 2 seasons.
I go back to what Mike Griffith told me after the 2010 season, and we were driving back from Penn State. Michigan State had locked up a share of the title, and he said, "Oh, I feel sorry for the Spartans." I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "When Alabama loses to Auburn, the bowl game is their therapy. That's the only way that they can erase that. And whoever they play after a loss to Auburn."
That's great to hear.
We'll be right back. Our Going Green segment. We'll talk football and, yes, basketball up next.
It's the Graff Christmas clearance, and the savings couldn't be better.
And we want to put a new Chevrolet in everyone's driveway.
And we'll give you a minimum of $3,000 for your trade.
Let's give them a shiny new one, Santa Chris.
Okay, look out below.
Drive a new Blazer for just $199 per month, or get into a 2020 Trax for only $78 a month.
There's never been a better time to save than during the Graff Christmas clearance.
Going on now at a Graff dealership near you.
Merry Christmas!
The student bookstores are Green and White Shop headquarters. Outfit your entire family with Spartan gear. We have a large selection of men's, women's, and children's clothing. Show off your Michigan State pride with new shoes, socks, hats, and more. Have your tailgate ready with MSU party supplies, car accessories, and dress your pet in green and white. We have gifts for students, grads, alumni, and fans. From Vera Bradley and Dooney and Burke to diploma frames and more. Always shop SBS for the biggest and best selection of green and white. Go green, go white, go SBS.
It's another fall Friday night, and your kids should be
playing high school football.
It's a fun game, and it's safer than ever.
It's safe because the rules, the coaching, and the equipment are better than ever before.
As a result, serious injuries are at an all-time low. Seriously.
And builds strong schools, lifetime memories, and tomorrow's community leaders. And it's mother approved.
It's a great game, and we want to teach it to your kids.
Join Fox 47's Masked Singer Twitter party, hosted by the Recycling Raccoons.
I'm Tara with the Holt & Diamondale Insurance Agency, and we understand that you depend on your farm equipment to keep your farm running smoothly. Auto Owners Insurance provides flexible coverage and broad protection for all your farm equipment. Call me today for your farm insurance review.
Get a remote car starter on sale for $99. What a great deal! But is it? Does that include installation? No way. Does that include an integrated module? Not a chance. Does that include other parts and safety features for locks, hoods, or doors? No, no, and no. For the real deal on remote car starters, go to Design Rides. They have a full range of CompuStar car starters, and each system is custom engineered to fit your vehicle. Design Rides is back. DesignRides.net.
There's levels to the new $1-2-$3 menu at McDonald's. Start with any size soft drink, McChicken, or cheeseburger, just $1. Order any small mocha or latte for only $2. Or level up to the bundle, a McDouble or 6-piece chicken McNuggets and small fries, just $3.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. Time for our Going Green segment, brought to you by Graf Chevrolet and Graf Nissan, West Grand River and Okemos. 105 years in the automobile business, they'll take great care of you as they have on all 7 of my leases and purchases. Go green, go Graf.
Our student-athlete experience should be outstanding there. Played against a good Wake Forest team who was 8-4 and plays extremely well on the offensive side of the ball. Got some different statistics offensively. Coach Clausen is a Midwest guy from Bowling Green and has done a great job there. And then down at Wake Forest. Yankee Stadium, the opportunity to play there should be outstanding as well. Something many of our players certainly have not been exposed to, so we'll have an opportunity to play there. Tough to win. We look forward to taking the next step and being 7-6, and that's the best that we can do at this point in time. So last night a little bit, watched the game a little bit, and took a step back in time and had opportunities to represent Michigan State in that game. I think 3 out of 5 times there, and 11, 13, and 15. So it takes you back a little bit. So we need to continue to ride the horse towards that horizon.
Michigan State head coach Mark D'Antonio late this afternoon. Rico, what is at stake for a 6-6 MSU team against 8-4 Wake Forest, 500 team in the ACC on December 27th in the Bronx?
Nothing. I mean,
what's he going to say to that?
I mean, you know what? To not have a losing record. I mean, again, I guess a chance to redeem yourself. Maybe. I guess this is where this goes back to bigger questions.
If you can make it there, you can make it anywhere, right?
If you knew what was going to happen next year, if you knew what was going to happen next year, you could at least say it's a springboard to next season. Yeah. But you don't. So really, it's almost like, you know what, just end this damn thing, okay? Pull the freaking plug and just end this thing. Doug, I know Doug agrees with me.
You need to practice this, man. 21 practice.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
Doug wanted to pull the plug on Halloween.
What if the coaches aren't the same coaches? So
worry
you got
about that
more
when it
practice
happens.
for nothing. So
do you think there are going to be a lot of coaching changes?
There should be, but it won't.
Well, then there won't then.
There should be at least 6.
Doug, nothing can erase the disappointment of 2 of the most horrific giveaways we have seen by a Big Ten team, and the 4 other games where Michigan State was outscored by 117 points.
Yeah.
What can Michigan State possibly prove, or what can it do as a positive moving ahead for next year?
They can continue to prove that they don't care about football anymore. The coaching staff should have been, they should have had changes last year. This coach that's currently there, Mark D'Antonio, best coach in history, it's over. I said it 6-8 weeks ago. It's done. They're going to lose this game. Wake Forest can score points. Michigan State can't. The best thing Michigan State can hope for is that there's an ice rink there and in the bad weather so that they can have Wake Forest play down to their level and maybe eke out a victory. This team stinks.
Michigan State wins this game by double digits.
They ain't winning by double digits.
If that happens,
there's no way
what will you say when we have you on the show?
I'll say Wake Forest blew it. Look, this is a 500 program until further notice. This coaching staff is done. There should be at least 5 to 7 coaching staff changes. It ain't going to happen.
You got them up at 500 last night on the way home.
They're a 500 program.
3-9.
Well, it might be 3-9. They bring this crap. Look, this is a 500 program. This school is not serious about football anymore.
See, to add on to what Doug is saying,
they're not.
If you are, I look at Coach Orgeron in LSU, and he changed on the fly. Yeah. He walked in there and says, we're going to do things differently. We're going to open up this offense. Okay, Joe Burrow he was horrible last year as a quarterback. 9 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, a 38%.
He hired an OC.
And you know what Joe Burrow said when he heard that? He said, yeah, right.
Yeah,
he didn't believe
exactly.
a
I
word
saw
of
that
it.
today. Yeah.
And then they bring in a 29-year-old guy from the New Orleans Saints.
Turned it around, flipped it.
So it can happen, but are you willing to let it happen?
Tom, you always talk about the importance of bowl wins.
Absolutely.
What would a win mean for Michigan State? We saw this in 2012 when it beat TCU out in the Buffalo Wild Wings Bowl, and then it went on this 36-5 run. Not saying that's going to happen, but what would happen if Michigan State pulls the upset for Doug?
Well, you avoid the negative. You're not 6-7, you're 7-6. There's a big difference between the two. It's just a whole attitude about the program. Look, January is going to be kind of a challenging month anyway. I mean, you have this deposition that Mark D'Antonio has to go through. There's a lot of negative things. This would be a good positive thing. In the off-season workouts, during those winter workouts, they're going to get
not really positive.
That's true, yes, and they need it really bad. I really want Michigan State to win this game, but I agree with Doug. I think they're going to pull an L here.
You really want Michigan State to
Sure,
win
I
this game?
feel bad.
It's the first time for everything, ladies and
I'm
gentlemen.
in the holiday spirit. That's the way I am.
He just doesn't want Michigan State to comment on the Alabama game.
Well, you're talking about Michigan State can beat Alabama, then he's going to come right back.
Switch opponents with you. How about that? Is that a straight up?
It might as well. You know what? The game will be over faster. It'll be over faster.
Mercy rule.
Right. You want to talk about running clock?
All right, when we get back, we're going to talk Big Ten basketball. We're going to talk about the Big Ten ACC Challenge. And the Big Ten won it without much help from Michigan State. And we'll talk about the opening games in Big Ten play, some surprises up next.
At the David Chapman Agency, it's our knowledge and expertise that make insuring home, auto, and farm easy for you. Experience the benefit of a local agent who cares about you with the David Chapman Agency and Auto Owners Insurance. Visit davidchapmanagency.com.
With MSU-FCU's Visa Signature Card, receive 3% cash back on groceries, 2% cash back on gas, travel, and universities, and 1% cash back on everything else. Open your MSU-FCU Visa Signature Card today.
Here's another holiday pro tip from GAHuntSeptic.com. Lots of folks suffer from holiday stress. That's when you take on so much extra stuff you feel like bursting at the seams. And GA Hunt knows the holidays put your septic system through the same thing. You know, it can only take so much laundry, bath, dishwater, and green bean casserole flushes before it starts bursting at the seams too. Make sure you don't add to your holiday stress with an embarrassing septic mess. And keep your holidays happy instead of crappy. Happy holidays. Visit GAHuntSeptic.com.
Last Man Standing's back.
Bingo.
Thursday, January 2nd on Fox.
What's really important to me is being able to have a partner, and Dart Bank has been that for me. I'm Eric Nelson. I'm a managing partner here at the English Inn. I've worked with John Morris at Dart Bank to help put together multiple projects that have assisted us with growing our business and continuing to be successful.
Team spirit, face paint, more cowbell. Dean Trailways Motor Coach takes care of your travel, so you can support your favorite Spartan teams and focus on the important things. Dean Trailways, your favorite ride.
Woody's Oasis, your healthy alternative to fast food. Woody's has the best Mediterranean food in town. Stop and see Chuck and Delita. They'll make you feel like family. Their friendly, knowledgeable staff is always willing to help.
Hi, how are you doing today? Do you want to do the homemade bread with it, or did you want to do the thin bread as a side?
They'll be sure to put a smile on your face. And as lifelong supporters of MSU athletics, you never know who might stop by. Eat Woody's and live longer.
Coulda, shoulda, Woody's.
Woody's Oasis on Trowbridge Road, right next to campus. Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. Time for our Take It to the Bank segment, brought to you by Dart Bank, dedicated to meeting the needs of our banking community for more than 90 years, with 4 convenient locations in Mason, Old South Lansing, Grand Ledge, and the expanded Home Loan Center in Frandor. That's Dart Bank for what matters most.
Man, what an honor. First off, thank you. As a kid from Saginaw, Michigan, my goal and dream was to play at Michigan State. It was to never get my jersey retired. And I lived that dream. And man, I said I wasn't going to get emotional.
Oh, I saw a great production out of them, playing with a lot of energy, ton of effort, and just playing inspiring basketball. It was great to see like Brandon Johns come in there, give us a huge lift, super active around the offensive glass, cutting to the basket for layups and dunks, being very active on the defensive end, and then also making outside shots. They play with.
Two of the top rebounders in Big Ten history, Draymond Green, #1 on Michigan State's list. That's Tuesday night. Jersey raised to the rafters, and Juwan Howard, I think, off to a surprising start as a Michigan head coach. Seems like he's really got some things going there. Rico, this was not the performance Tuesday night that Tom Izzo wanted to honor Draymond Green. Now we have Rocket Watts, foot in a boot, right?
He's in a boot. Special MSU version of Nike, the boot.
What did you see tonight? We were there, saw the Rutgers game, at least the first part of it.
I see a team, it reminds me a lot of Miles Bridges' first year playing at Michigan State, where you got a lot of guys who are waiting around watching Cassius Winston play. What's Cassius going to do? Is Cassius going to score? Is Cassius in the Winstonettes? No one wants to step in there and be a star. Everybody's just happy being a subordinate, being a role player, and you need somebody to take that step. Now, Gabe Brown, Rocket Watts was one of the, Rocket would take shots. His shots just weren't falling.
Yeah.
Gabe will take shots, but the other guy, Aaron Henry, man,
A lot of offensive initiative tonight from Gabe, which even when the ball didn't go in, it was...
Maybe Tom needs to do what he did for Mo Pete that time and put Aaron Henry on the back of a milk carton and pass him around the locker room. It worked for Mo Pete back in the day.
It did. What has to happen the rest of this month for Michigan State to be in position to defend its Big Ten titles, plural, and to make another run at the Final Four, as people expected?
Got to cut down on silly turnovers, and you need Xavier Tillman and you need Aaron Henry to be the other two pieces of that trinity. Cassius is going to be Cassius, okay? You need some guys to step up. He's going through a lot emotional. Take some of the burden off of him. That's got to be X, and that's got to be Henry, or it's got to be two other people. Because right now, I would just double team Cassius.
Get the ball out of his hand. That's the idea, right? We saw Duke do that. Doug, with the injuries, Joshua Langford, nobody can say that looks good for him coming back. And now what we have with Rocket Watts, there are some different ways to handle this. One of them is the lineup that started tonight. You've got Aaron Henry in there, and then you slide Gabe Brown in to that lineup. The other one is to have more of Kyle Arms.
Right.
Bring him in, and he can do some things there, help you defensively. And the other idea is to move Cassius off the point some, if he is their best outside shooter, and play Foster Lawyer, an idea that you think might work.
Yeah, I mean, it might work. I don't know what other choice you have, but if you do that, you can't play man-to-man with these guys. I mean, what's going to happen first? Is Michigan State football going to get back to a college football playoff, or is Tom Izzo going to play a zone defense for more than just a possession or two? Look, if this team's going to rebound and get this thing back together, it's okay to play a zone. I mean, teams have won national championships playing zone. It doesn't mean you're a wuss if you play zone defense. And the way this injuries have attacked this team and the way the teams are shutting down Winston, you got to think outside the box at this point until these guys get back together, like Henry and Gabe Brown and others.
I know how Tom Izzo is philosophically about the zone, and you rebound better in man-to-man.
It's easier to box out in a man-to-man.
But I do think there's something to this to avoid the early fouls.
That's another thing. Fouls have always been an issue.
Fouls are killing Michigan State because they're taking guys out for the first half of games. Tom, looking around the Big Ten, U of M was close and then wound up losing by 15 at #1 Louisville, but then bounced back. Good effort, scored a bazillion points against Iowa.
Yeah, 6 guys in double figures, 9 guys scored. The Louisville game was the least important. It was the Iowa game at home. You got to win all your home games in the Big Ten, split on the road. So they got Illinois coming up on Wednesday, then they got Oregon coming in for a non-conference. So the big
Oregon
game
at Chrysler?
Yes, a week from, next Saturday. So, but they had to beat the Iowa, win that Iowa game, and it worked out for them.
The Big Ten beat the ACC, 8 wins to 6. And then in conference play yesterday, Maryland almost got stumped.
So close.
Indiana lost for the first time this year. What happens when you don't play anybody? And Maryland very lucky to get past Illinois. We'll be right back. We'll talk pro football up next, and the Lions too.
Happy Other's Day.
You mean Mother's Day?
No, I mean Other's Day. The day I celebrate all the other recyclables that should never go in your recycling bin, like batteries. Learn the rules of recycling at recyclingraccoons.org.
On the economy, a unique leader, Mike Bloomberg's created over 400,000 jobs. As president, an opportunity economy that works for us. Tax fairness, where the wealthy pay their fair share. Education, affordable college and high-skill vocational training so people can succeed in the new economy. Economic security, lower-cost health care, and affordable middle-class housing. Proven leadership on jobs to build an economy where people don't just get by, they get ahead.
I'm Mike Bloomberg, and I approve this message.
Happy Other's Day.
You mean Mother's Day?
No, I mean Other's Day. The day I celebrate all the other recyclables that should never go in your recycling bin, like batteries. Learn the rules of recycling at recyclingraccoons.org.
Download the Fox 47 Storm Shield app and stay in touch everywhere you go.
It's the Graf Christmas clearance, and the savings couldn't be better. And we want to put a new Chevrolet in everyone's driveway. And we'll give you a minimum of $3,000 for your trade. Let's give them a shiny new one, Santa Chris. Okay, look out below.
Drive a 2020 Equinox for just $159 a month, or a 2020 Silverado Custom Crew Cab for only $250 a month.
There's never been a better time to save than during the Graf Christmas clearance. Going on now at a Graf dealership near you. Merry Christmas.
Anyone who's had our chicken knows it's plump and juicy. What they may not know is that it's also 100% natural.
All our chickens are certified, humanely raised, no antibiotics, on a high-quality diet of soy and grain.
Why are they called tenders?
They're called tenders because they come from the tenderloin of the breast, hand-trimmed just for colors. It's not a strip or a finger, it is the true tenderloin.
I'll put our chicken tenders up against anybody's.
That's like my Granny Franklin used to make. That's outstanding, Craig.
Welcome to Delicious.
The Ticket Machine is your local connection to concert, theater, and sporting event tickets nationwide. Our entertainment experts are ready to help you create a memorable experience, trusted by fans for more than 20 years. Whether you're looking for tickets for your corporate outing, family excursion, or vacation, we offer the best seats and the best prices. Grab a front row seat now on theticketmachine.com.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. Time for our Law of the Jungle segment, brought to you by Woody's Oasis on Trowbridge Road, your healthy alternative to fast food. Eat Woody's and live longer. I'm talking about chicken shawarma with baked breast meat and hummus made fresh in a 3-day process. That's why I'm there every week. Stop and see Chuck, Delita, and their terrific staff on Trowbridge, or find Woody's favorites at Tom's Foods, Horrocks, and all across MSU's campus.
Well, obviously disappointed with the outcome. Tough game, tough place. Give Minnesota credit. That's a really good team. They played hard. They controlled the game. We just think you control the game. But, the first half gave up some big plays that kind of swung some things for us there and didn't make enough plays on offense to help us. And, so there was a lot of adjustments, a lot of corrections here at halftime that we needed to make. I do think the guys went out and played hard in the second half. I thought we tried to get some of those things fixed. We also knew it was going to be a tough game. We tried to decrease the penalties, but we still had some of those in some critical situations.
There you hear Matt Patricia. He is the head coach of Patriots West.
Yeah. Patriots West.
Doug Warren, Detroit had not scored less than 13 points in any game this season. Was this more a matter of playing without Matthew Stafford and Jeff Driscoll? Mm-hmm. Or was this a case of seeing that the Vikings are a complete team, a team that can do some damage in the playoffs?
I think it was a little bit of both, but the Lions are they're just a bad football team, and I don't think they believe in this coaching staff. I mean, how many times is this fatso going to get up there and say, we're
come on, Doug, don't make it personal.
Why not? It's a personal affront. This guy's coaching this football team. Okay, he looks like he should be doing yard work. Have some professionalism if you're going to show up and I mean, he looks like a bum. His team plays like he looks. That's what it's like. So it's an insult that this guy's still there. He's 2-5 against NFC North foes. They've lost 19 games under his tenure. They've lost 6 in a row. And people say, oh, they lost 5 in a row without Stafford. Well, they lost 4 with the guy.
Hey, they've won 1 of their last 10.
Yeah, okay, great. Look, I don't even care about this football team until changes are made. All right? They're terrible. The GM and the head coach need to go. And these guys are Marty Morningwig and Matt Millen Part 2.
They're playing so poorly right now that they're going to be locked in to get a great pick, which they can then mess up.
I'm sick of looking at the guy's face. I can't even stand sitting here watching this guy talk at the beginning of he says the same thing week after week, and his team stinks.
Tom Crawford, Kirk Cousins, Minnesota's much maligned quarterback, and a guy who does have 4 wins over Michigan in that series. Just thought I'd
had to put that zinger in there.
He's still walking the streets.
Yes, walking that back alleys.
Completed 80% of his passes today. Why is he playing as well as he ever has after the way they started the season and very poor outings at Green Bay and Chicago?
Well, he threw 80% of his passes completed today because he's playing the Lions. I mean, that's a reason right there. I mean, listen, statistically,
last 2 months he's been as good as any quarterback in the league.
Yeah, but there's still been a little bit of up and down with him, and both offensively and defensively with the Vikings. I'll tell you when I'll believe in Kirk Cousins when we get to the playoffs. Actually, December 23rd when they play the Packers in Minnesota.
Yeah.
That's when
he gets a win there. You'll be on board.
Then I'll believe in it.
You'll be rowing.
I got to see it to believe it.
All right. Rico, we had 3 very attractive matchups today. We had the Ravens in Buffalo. We had your Niners going into New Orleans and beating the Saints 48-46. What a fantastic game. And the Chiefs going on the road and handing the Patriots another L. Who impressed you the most looking at these scores? Who was really on top of his game?
I mean, the Saints-Niners game, because whoever won that game, I think, was really kind of in a pole position for the NFC. And my goodness, it was one of those you didn't want to see a team lose because they both were playing so good.
Great game.
And I think with the
Patriots, Thursday
Patriots,
night for a second. How about the Bears?
Yeah.
Beating the Cowboys.
Cowboys,
they're bouncing back.
Mitchell Trubisky, he looked like a quarterback. We'll be right back with Cool and Smooth up next.
What's really important to me is being able to have a partner, and Dart Bank has been that for me. I'm Eric Nelson. I'm a managing partner here at the English Inn. I've worked with John Morris at Dart Bank to help put together multiple projects that have assisted us with growing our business and continuing to be successful.
Team spirit, face paint, more cowbell. Dean Trailways Motor Coach takes care of your travel, so you can support your favorite Spartan teams and focus on the important things. Dean Trailways, your favorite ride.
It's the Graf Christmas clearance, and the savings couldn't be better. And we want to put a new Chevrolet in everyone's driveway. And we'll give you a minimum of $3,000 for your trade. Let's give them a shiny new one, Santa Chris. Okay, look out below.
Drive a new Blazer for just $199 per month, or get into a 2020 Trax for only $78 a month.
There's never been a better time to save than during the Graf Christmas clearance. Going on now at a Graf dealership near you. Merry Christmas.
Woody's Oasis, your healthy alternative to fast food. Woody's has the best Mediterranean food in town. Stop and see Chuck and Delita. They'll make you feel like family. Their friendly, knowledgeable staff is always willing to help.
Hi, how are you doing today? Do you want to do the homemade bread with it, or did you want to do the thin bread as a side?
They'll be sure to put a smile on your face. And as lifelong supporters of MSU athletics, you never know who might stop by. Eat Woody's and live longer.
Coulda, shoulda, Woody's.
Woody's Oasis on Trowbridge Road, right next to campus. Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. Time for our Cool and Smooth segment, brought to you by the 5 Culver's locations in mid-Michigan. Since 1984, Culver's has been delighting guests one meal at a time with scrumptious butterburgers and premium frozen custard. That's Culver's. Welcome to delicious.
All right, what can I get? Can I gain some knowledge? Quick? Yep. No. All right, what can I get? Can I gain some knowledge? Quick? Yep. No.
Never seen that one before. The Ravens have a sideline photographer who takes photos and show to the players' formations when they come off the field. So windy that it blew out onto the field, and Bill's defensive back, Trey White, picked it up, and I
thought they were using tablets these days.
They had actual paper, and he's got it out there, and the officials trying to take it away from him. Never seen anything.
Well, that's like you see it on the playground or something.
All right, Team 324, who has been as cool and smooth as a Culver's mint explosion this week? Rico Beard, what about our play of the week?
Play of the week, I've been going back and forth with this. I didn't know if I go with the fake punt of Ohio State because it really kind of jump-started that game. Yep. And to do it so deep in that territory, if they missed, that game was over.
Yeah. It wasn't over, but it would be.
But I got to give it to my man George Kittle. And the catch that he got.
That was unbelievable.
He gets the third down catch. He runs down the sideline. He's then grabbed by the face mask as the guy is twisting it, not letting it go. 2 other guys are punching at the ball.
It looked like a cartoon.
And he is still picking up yards that led to the 49ers' game-winning field goal. That right there was toughness.
No, that was good.
That's what you show your kids when you say be tough and fight through it all. Don't rely on the referees. Just get it done.
That was good.
Gotta love those Iowa tight ends, from Jim Gibbons to Dallas Clark to T.J. Hawkinson. They're all great, right? George
Just don't
Kittle.
take them 8th overall, okay?
All right, Doug, what do you have for us, our game of the week?
I got to stick with what Rico said. The 49ers-Saints game, fantastic. Jimmy Garoppolo and Drew Brees each throw for 349 yards apiece. A combined 9 touchdowns between the two. And the George Kittle play, it's just these are 2 great football teams that have a chance to win a Super Bowl. And the NFC, man, I picked Seattle to win the Super Bowl, but I don't know who's coming out of the NFC. This is a tough conference and as tough as I've seen in a long time.
Yeah. I can see that. Tom Crawford, team of the week is?
In the holiday spirits, I'm going to give Michigan State's hockey team 2 big wins over Wisconsin this week after bouncing back those losses to Ohio State. They're like 6-3-1. They're at the top near the Big Ten.
Yeah.
Dan Cole, when you have a good coach and a hot goalie, you're going to win.
Michigan
hockey.
got a win over Penn State, and
I
that
saw
closed
that.
the gap.
That was Friday night a little bit.
Michigan State right in there.
Yeah, absolutely. But Michigan State, he's flipped this thing around. So I'm impressed by what Dan
went to that game Friday night, and it wasn't full, but the people who were there were into it.
Yeah.
And it'd been
it's
a long
a niche
time.
crowd.
I've seen that. It's coming back.
It is coming back.
For our player of the week, I want to stay with what you guys have been talking about in this game because it was one of the most entertaining games you'll ever see. But I have co-players of the week for different reasons. Jimmy Garoppolo, and you talk about these guys throwing for exactly the same yardage, 349 apiece combined for the 9 scores. But Jimmy Garoppolo was a guy that the 49ers targeted, said we can get him. Bob Kraft didn't want him. Bill Belichick nearly quit over it. And look what he's doing now. I think he's got a chance to be a really good quarterback. And Drew Brees, the guy is ageless. The best Big Ten quarterback I've ever seen. Yeah. And he came out there again today. I don't know if he and Brady are in the same workout regimen, but phenomenal stuff.
He is. Incredible.
Want to thank our panel, Tom Crawford, Bluebelly Tom. You can hear him. Wolverine.com as well. Crawford Podcasting Network. Rico Beard, you can catch him noon to 1. The Spartan Beat, Spotlight Radio Network. And Doug Warren, he'll be with me weekday afternoons.
Gnarly.
From 3 to 6. Loving his Lions. We'll be back next week, everyone. Have a great week. Thanks for joining us.